Hey, this finds you is not by accident. Okay. This is a personal spiritual field lab. Hashtag I tested my faith. Okay. So this is kind of one of the ways why I like wanted to like share in terms of how even shared memories, you can still go back and test the spirit. Okay. So every interaction and everything, uh, anything in the past, present, you know what I mean? So here's a primary example. Okay. Um, let's say so today, right? I talked about rebellious spirits. So this is gonna be a little bit. Well, no, this could be both sides. All right. So I touched on a little bit on the rebellious spirits and how they don't react to the Holy Spirit, right? So you can't convict them um, via direct means, right? So you have to use like a, a tandem indirect approach with rebellious spirits. Okay. So what does that mean? So if you hit straight on, right, then you're direct, it's gonna be some sort of, because they thrive on head combat. So it's gonna be some sort of issue. Okay. So rather than do a direct head on head, you can do a tandem indirect approach. Okay. And this will be very, very effective. Here's a primary example in terms of how I was doing something and I prayed for said individual. Okay. It did not end the spirit. It was an effective prayer and I felt it. Okay. I felt the atmosphere change and I felt it. Okay. But what are the parameters of healing? What are required? Right? Trust, belief, knowing the most high, believing in everything that he could do. The impossibles, right? So this very thing in the physical, things happen and things move, but this is how also in the unseen, how dark angels actually is listening as well and kind of come in to intervene chaos. Okay, so in the scene, this one person came in the physical and obviously needed healing, you could tell. And um and I was like, oh, okay, cool. But I ended up running to the same individual again, more so recently, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I could have sworn that really helped, right? So the tactic of the dark angel is to really cast doubt and confusion, okay, to make you doubt your abilities, the gifts that the Most High gave you, okay. And so I was like, I wonder why is she still kind of, you know what I mean? And so then I let whatever go, and then just now I was like, oh no, I'm not letting this go. This gotta bother me. Okay. So I went to the NC and I went through the list. Okay. I started first with the last topic, okay. Jezebel. And I went down the list, you know what I mean? Dark prophet, you know what I mean? Then I said dark angel. So first I thought, and then I went down the list, okay. So now it reveals she was a dark angel. Okay. So with dark angels, obviously, rebellious spirit, they're not gonna get any said provisions for healing. I think you could safely say like disobedience, rebellion. Yeah, no. Okay. So that was one of the cool things that you can do is you could be retroactive with each memory, with each encounter that you have. Now, in terms of things that are to come, right? You might still be able to test the spirit, right? Because things are happening in terms of how the all the unclean spirits are trying to, interfere and obstruct, right? But you want to stay on your toes and focus, right? So if the Most High gives you a vision and you know it's indeed a vision from the Most High, right? You can actually test that, knowing that's truth. You can test that as a threshold in terms of anticipation, and so you can set up offensive, defensive strategies as well. Okay, so if he gives you a vision, okay, Now, then you have certain imagery, you have certain context, you know what I mean? So you can pinpoint that. Each and everything that's in that vision is the things that are to come. And he's omnipresent. So that vision is really potent in terms with also future memory, future things to come. So you can test that spirit in the future as well. All right, you have command, and if he gave it to you, he given you command to for everything that he gives you, and he speaks to you in omnipresent as well. So via instruction, via visions as well. So that's empowerment for you to not only just seek in the things of the future, but find every element of every tense, right? So past, present, and future. Okay. Now test the spirit. Okay. So why is this really relevant? Okay. So now from this hashtag spiritual field lab, I test my faith. Okay. The conclusion was that these said spirits are definitely like a lot more intertwined within the unseen, like seconds. Seconds. Okay. So know that it's one of those things where he didn't give us a spirit of fear necessarily, but also you need to uh, before and after, we're still called to pray for our enemies, right? But you have to make sure they don't have a rebellious spirit. Okay, that's kind of one of those things where it puts them on a naughty list. You know what I mean? So they're in timeout. Okay, until they are able to be corrected so they can be humbled, and then all those unclean, rebellious things can leave them because they don't want to take direction, and they essentially is trying to take the throne. That's kind of what that's alluding to, and yeah, we can't have that. We can't have a second, falling of heaven from rebellion kind of thing. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, so this was powerful in that way, but this can also, you can look at it in the future as well, in terms of the things that you did well with the said prayer. You can make note of said things, environments, feelings, confirmations, animals reactions, plants, and everything reacts to in like systematic. It's everything is interconnected. Okay, so this actually touches on the sermon I'm working on. So, okay, okay, so it's not gonna be an hour and 45 minutes, but this one is probably be shorter, just because for whatever reason everything that I have listed is divided so okay, so sorry. Sorry. But what I can do, I'm gonna do a little deeper dive and stuff like that, because there's always something I can give you extra. And the well, not me, but the ministering of the most holy one, you know what I mean? So if this finds you, know that these labs that I'm referencing are really impactful, and they actually do propel your faith forward so that you can be moved in the spirit more. And so this is important so you can help people. So Holy Spirit, or any person, most holy person, will put people in your path so you can heal or pray or whatever. You know what I mean? You don't need a ministry to do that. Okay, so we should always propel, and we should not conform to the ways of this world. But with that said, I'll let you do what you got to do. All right. But besides your mama, you know what I mean? Those dark angels, they be trying. They be trying. They can't get me. Hashtag love that battle. Hashtag keep practicing. Hear the voices, hear the changes. Also test the spirit on a dark kingdom as well. Don't just be idle and be focused on one side. Do both. Okay. This will help you learn the changes of each side. Okay. And the more you do this, the sooner that you're able to reacclimate to the said changes. But at the same time, this forces you to do more than what you would have done before. So this is actually a good thing. This is a blessing. And so learning, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, they're all gifts, right? From the Most High. So give him all the praise and all the glory and all the honor. Humble, humble yourselves, right? And complain not, gossip not. Okay. He does not like people to gossip. Okay. So let's not or no complainers nor to the entitled people. Okay, so just humble. Okay, just humble. All right. So any other encounter? No, I didn't really have an encounter per se. Um, but oh wait, one thing. Okay, so interesting. So here's another part to this that's really interesting. This individual actually had a dog. Okay, and this dog was on a leash. Okay, so I just took a second to like confirm some things. Okay, and um, so things in unseen. It's so this gives you an idea in terms of how they in pursuit of said persons. Typically, they go after things that they can dominate more readily and more easily, right? This said dog was actually a dog of the Light Kingdom. I know, I know. So, not to say that they didn't deserve it, the dog necessarily, but the thing is, normally flesh seeks after flesh. And so this would mean that there was some sort of um, intentional effect to seek out this particular dog. Somehow she got this dog unknowingly um, through some abnormal means, like the Most High would not, you know what I mean? Not for like a not for like a dark angel, you know what I mean? So take this up with the Most High, but this is typically normally what it sounds like to me is a ritual, you know. So it's you okay. So you know how sometimes people um do what they call those things, those memory or want boards or whatever, and you put everything on the board that you want, but how they do it is more like they doing it on their own strength. Like anything that they put on the board, they'll get. You know what I mean? So that's my take on this particular situation, where this individual thinks that she might be able to. Maybe it might be unconscious, you know, because dark angels and you know what I mean. It's like a the body is like a conduit for that said dark thing, right? Um, but they operate on their own strength, thinking that anything they put on the board is oh boy is okay. So yeah, anything that they put on the board, they will get. So they're overachievers in terms and power seekers. They're also desirous for people of the light kingdom, and it can be tandem, or well, not tandem, but direct as well. They prefer direct interaction. So the things for in terms of how the light kingdom interacts, it would have to be tandem. You cannot go head on head with said individuals. Okay, it has to be tandem. So one of the strategies that you can do, you have to seek the Most High on, but I would have to do more spiritual field labs and tests and see exactly to the fact in terms of which tandem interaction will work. So I'll post some of my findings and stuff like that, just so you can gauge and see how I would approach it. You know what I mean? So you don't necessarily get all the data on the first test, right? But the Most High will certainly put more of those type of people in your path, but you don't really need to put more dark angels in your path necessarily, because you had a number of them in your past as well. So you can think back and allow, like, uh, the Holy Trinity to guide you, and you can cross reference because you have the ability to go into the past and think about said individual or individuals, and you could think of that individual and you say, are you a, you know, and then bada bing, bada boom. So mind you, that person, okay, um, dark prophets, dark angels, if you ask them questions, they will evade, they'll lie, you know. But in this type of scenario, when you go back, you're not interacting with them directly. You see what I'm doing? So it's kind of like an indirect kind of approach. Indirect, but they will have to be. So here's how this works. Okay. Only the Most High is omnipresent. Okay. They will have to be um, in that present moment at the same time that you're making that inquiry, in order for them to create that sense of confusion. Ooh, hello. So, he did not give us a spirit of confusion. He did not give us you know what that meant. You're not. So, um, it's just one of those things where, like, my past jobs, I was like a biological researcher, a clinical researcher. So my passion is tangent to this, or is like adjacent and all in it. You know what I mean? So I'm really curious when it comes to the investigative side. You know what I mean? In terms of the inter and intra connections, and the all the in the middle. You know what I mean? All that messy metabolic stuff. You know what I mean? So, so if this finds you, know that you can certainly go into the past. Um, there's like there's a very low percentage that they're in that same moment that you're thinking about. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it so long as you're not vocalizing it, and then they're going back to that same moment. Then they can, like, throw you off. So, um, silence is key, and also keep frequently fasting, because when you work with like these really dark entities, fasting helps, keeps your mind and your heart clean from deceit and manipulation and influence. So that's the key things. The Most High says, protect your mind and your heart with all your strength. Okay, so that's your instruction for any of this. Okay, do not go into it if you're not mentally prepared, and you're not prepared to protect your heart either. The things that matter most to you, in the unseen and in the physical. Okay, because they will attack. You know what I mean? With a fury, but he did not give us a spirit of fear necessarily. And then all you have to do is go to the Most High. You know what I mean? And then I am looking in the unseen too. So I will be. You know what I mean? So if I see anything out of ordinary, hey, this might be a warning. Okay. Trust, okay? Jezebels, it doesn't matter. Jezebel, dark prophets, dark angels, they do not. It's like oil and water with me. Okay. That's how I know. Anybody else though in dark kingdom. you know. But distance with them. Okay. So I'll continue my findings. This will conclude set findings on dark angels. And yeah, so you have the ability to do the same thing, and I would implore you to do the same, because and propelling your faith forward is what it's all about, and it pleases the Father as well. You know what I mean? So why not? Why not please him in terms of doing the things that we're supposed to? Instead of like really doing it for the thing necessarily, just do it for his sheer enjoyment of seeing him smile. You know what I mean? That's a lot more memorable. That's what I think. What do you think? All right. All right. Well, I'll let you do what you gotta do. And I was anticipating this to be that you know what I mean. But all right.